Hello, dear students. Welcome you all to the 26th lecture of macroeconomics. And today, in continuation of the previous lecture, we will discuss the indirect instruments of monetary policy. So before proceeding, let's see what we have discussed in previous lecture. So in previous lecture, we discussed the direct instrument or general quantitative methods or direct instruments. Under that we have seen, under that we discussed how with the help of cash reserve ratios or CRR, banks, RBI controls the money supply in the market, and what is the role of SLRs in the balance for the balancing the liquidity in the market. So in today's lecture, we will discuss about liquidity adjustment facility, and we will see how with the help of repo rate and reverse repo rate the money supply can be controlled in the market. So let's see first of all what is liquidity adjustment facility. So liquidity adjustment facility or LAF, this is basically for daily or day-to-day fluctuations in liquidity. So it consists of daily infusion or absorption of liquidity on a repurchase basis through repo and reserve repo auction options using government securities as collateral. If you people remember when we was discussing the inflation, we discussed how with the changes of repo rate and reverse repo rate, the government can or the RBI can control the money supply in the market. So basically, these are day-to-day fluctuation in liquidity. And first of all, let's see what is a repo rate and reverse repo rate. Then it will be more clear to you people. So repo rate is the rate at which RBI lends short-term money to the banks against the securities. Means RBI is one party. It is giving loan to commercial banks like your SBI is there, PNB is there, Axis Bank is there. So they are getting loan or they are taking from loan from RBI against bank securities. Okay. When the repo rate increases, borrowing from the RBI becomes more expensive because these banks have to pay more interest to RBI. So what will happen if the interest rates will increase? That interest rate will be transferred to individuals or household sector or industrial sectors. So borrowing will be expensive for individuals also or for the industries also. Okay, so in that case people will be discouraged to take a loan and they will be discouraged to start any new business. So as a result of that, what will happen, whatever the excess liquidity is there from the market, it will be absorbed. On other side, reverse repo rate, RBI borrows from commercial banks. Okay, so that is a rate at which RBI borrows from commercial banks. So in the adjustment of these two, with the adjustment of these two interest rates, the liquidity or money supply can be controlled. LAF, that is liquidity adjustment facility, is used to aid banks in adjusting day-to-day fluctuations in liquidity. This allows banks to park with their excess money with the RBI in case of excess liquidity, and RBI will give interest on that or avail liquidity from RBI at the time of deficit. So if banks have less money or less liquidity, they can take loan from RBI. That will be called repo rate. Okay, that interest rate will be called repo rate when commercial banks are taking loan from RBI. On the other hand, if excess liquidity is there, so they can deposit their excessive liquidity into RBI, that is called your reverse repo rate. So with this also, RBI can control the supply of money in the market. The operations of LAF are conducted by the way of repos and reverse repo. Okay, so these are the two ways, like increase the interest rate, give expensive or more expensive debt to expensive loans to commercial banks, that will be passed to the people also. So expensive loan means people will not willing to buy new things, so automatically that excess liquidity will be absorbed. On other case, if there is a lot of there is a scarcity of liquidity, what will have? The RBI will inject money to the market through reverse repo rate and repo rate. Next, selective or qualitative measures are also there through which RBI controls the money supply in the market. So three ways are there. First is ceiling on the credit. In this operation, RBI issue prior information or directions to the loan to the commercial bank will be given up to a certain limit. So RBI himself will put a cap that more than this amount the commercial banks cannot give credit to individuals or household sectors or industrial sectors. Second is margin requirements. So a portion of the loan amount which is not financed by the bank means individual also have to give certain percent of that amount on borrowing. Means suppose you want to buy a house, so at least you have to pay 75% from your own and only 25% banks will give. So margin requirements, the government is fixing a margin like up to 20% only you will get from the loan, remaining 80% you have to pay from your own pocket. Third one is discriminatory rate of interest. So government will fix or they can prioritize that these sectors are required cheaper loans, so provide them loan at a lower interest rate. And another like non-essential items, the loans rate could be more. Like you can see that vehicle loans are very much expensive, okay, whereas or personal loans are very expensive, whereas agriculture's loans are very cheaper. The interest rate is very less in agriculture loan. So this is like discrimination in the interest rate. So these are the various methods. Quickly revise once again. Open market operations and deployment of credit is there, and CRR is there, where banks are required to hold certain portion to the deposit to the RBI also. So in the change, when the RBI is changing the CRR, with that also money liquidity in the market can be controlled. If CRR is more, it means less liquidity will there. If CRR is less, more liquidity will be there. Second is SLR, the rate that on which bank have to invest a certain percent of its time and demand liabilities in the government approved securities. So if RBI wants to decrease the money supply in the market, they will increase the SLR rate. When they want to decrease or they want to increase the liquidity in the market, they will decrease this SLR rate. Third one is liquidity adjustment facility. With the help of repo rate and reverse repo rate, changing in those interest rate on daily basis or daily fluctuations, RBI can control the money supply in the market. And under selective or qualitative methods, ceiling on the credit, margin requirements, and discriminatory rate of interest could be implemented to control the money supply in the market. Now, under monetary policy, there could be two possibilities. Two measures are there: monetary expansion and monetary contraction. Expansion means when RBI wants to inject money in the market. Okay, when they will want it, when there is a severe unemployment, when people are not getting jobs, when industries production is not up to the mark. So that case, government to incentivize those industries, what the government will do, they will give easy loans, okay, cheaper loans will be provided. So they want economy to expand, okay. So for expanding the economy, what they need to do, they need to push money in the market. So that is called your monetary expansion. That is in the case of unemployment. Second one is monetary contraction. That is the case of inflation, when excess liquidity is there. So RBI or government wants to absorb the excess liquidity from the market. So that will be your monetary contraction. So let's see what happens under expansion monetary policy and contraction monetary policy. So expansion monetary policy, what will be the problem that time? Unemployment will be there and economy is going into recession. So what could be the possible measures taken by the central bank or RBI? So RBI will buy securities through open market operations. So they will buy securities means they have to pay for the securities and that security, when they are paying, that money is again coming to the market, and they will reduce the CRR. CRR means a portion or deposit which banks need to maintain at the RBI. They will reduce that rate. So when it was 20%, it means bank need to pay or deposit more money to RBI. Then what they will do? They will decrease it to 10%. Okay, and third one, they will lower the bank rate or repo rate. So if these measures will be taken, then what will happen as a result? Money supply will increase, and if money supply is increasing to commercial banks, interest rates will be fall, and investment will rise, because now industries or individuals will take loans, or they will be willing to take loans from the commercial banks, and they will start their business. When the business will increase or the production will increase, automatically people will get employment. As a result of that, their income will increase, and result of that, increase in demand, and aggregate output will increase, because aggregate demand is also increasing. So economy will start expanding this time. Okay, whereas in the contraction, what will be the objective? To absorb the excess money from the market. So if excess inflation, if inflation is there, situation is there, excess liquidity is there, so RBI will be willing to pull out or absorb the excess money from the market. So as a result, what they will do? Just opposite to expansion, central banks sell securities through open market operations. So commercial bank to buy them need to buy them. So for buying them, they will give excess money to RBI, and they will increase the CRR and SLR rates, and there will be increase in the bank's rates also. Repo rates will increase. As a result of that, what will happen? Automatically the money supply will be decreased, because whatever the excess liquidity is there, that is going to RBI again, and interest rates will rise, and investment expenditures will be declined, because interest rates are costly. So industries will not be willing to take a loan from commercial banks. As a result of that, aggregate demand will decrease, and price level will also fall. Okay, so these are the two ways, expansion and contraction under monetary policies, through which RBI controls the money supply in the market. So that is all under the monetary policy. And next lecture, we will learn about fiscal policy, and with the help of fiscal policy, how government make a balance in economy. So I hope you understood this concept. If still you have any confusion, you can ping me on WhatsApp. I will solve your query there. Thank you so much for watching the video.